Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
It's our YouTube channel. Subscribe to this channel and give this video a like.
Podcast below in the description. A lot of content. Go check it out.
All right, the Trent Watch continues. If there was Panda Watch, this is Dancing Bear Watch. So Greg Papa apparently said, our buddy John Lund tweeted out on Tuesday morning. Greg Papa, our buddy, also said he's hearing the Niners have a 4-year, $80 million contract on the table for Trent Williams. That was Tuesday morning. Nothing signed yet. Tuesday evening, Jason Lockenford tweets, continue to hear the Trent Williams market is strong. Niners, Chiefs, Colts, and Bears all in the mix. Niners will be hard to beat, but some GMs believe this could approach $23 million a year, which 20, 40, 60, 80, that's a big difference there.
Yep. And for those of you new to the show, Greg Papa is the voice of the 49ers, right? So, you know.
Good to say. We get a lot of new people here lately. So, thanks for
podcasts are growing. Business is good. When I saw that number, my first take is I don't know if that gets it done, right? I think it's pretty clear. Monday was awesome, right? I mean, it was just action nonstop. Tuesday was pretty damn good. I think it's fair to say, factoring potential money. Now, as of recording this, we don't know how much the guy's going to sign for. You know, it feels like he's going to get more than 80, and the guarantees are going to be massive. It does feel beside the quarterback, which I'd say Dak Prescott. I'm not even counting him in this class. He's his own little universe. Trent Williams is the number one free agent on the market coming into this group, right? Starting left tackle, his price is higher than everyone else. Like a lot of these contracts I see, like 4 for 48. 14 guaranteed, 5 for 7. What was the guy that got the Chiefs got a lot of money? Thuney, the lineman from New England. It's basically a 3-year, $48 million deal. But it was like he got 5 for 80. No, he didn't. Trent Williams' contract is going to be the closest thing to a quarterback contract, in my opinion, of all these contracts. Of the numbers are going to be big, and he's going to see a lot of that cash flow. And I expect a large amount of money, quarterback style, right? What did Dak get? 75 year one. Remember a couple years ago, Aaron Rodgers, 80 year one. Most of these like Thuney contracts are like $12 million bonus. I'd expect Trent Williams' bonus to be massive, and just the amount of cash flow that first kind of 12 months to be big. And part of it is just supply demand. Who's after you? The demand for this player is high. You have the Colts, who have a shit ton of money, who need a left tackle. Bears' offensive line stinks. They're kind of desperate right now for anything. Who was the other team you said? The Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they're going to be in the mix. They have obviously made a ton of money in the last couple of years. I said the Colts, yeah. So and the Niners. So I think immediately the Chiefs, they're the best team in the league, in my opinion. I know the Bucks beat them, but I mean, their 2 tackles were out. They had lost 2 games in 2 years and a Super Bowl champ. Like their resume speaks for itself. You could say Tampa's maybe they're equal now. That's fine. And the Colts have a lot going for them. Like that is a good team. They're a lock to be good. And if their quarterback is just a lot better than he's been, they could be really good. And they're paying him huge money. The Niners, I say the best thing the Niners have going for them right now is Kyle.
He likes him.
And the Trent likes Kyle.
Yeah, he likes
Obviously, Kyle likes Trent.
Keep in mind,
I don't think they're the best. They're not the best team on this list.
No.
And he makes more money in these other states. I mean, when you factor in taxes, when you're talking that much money, right?
Keep in mind, too,
works against you a little.
Like, this is technically, I guess, Wednesday at 1 is when free agency hasn't technically started yet. I mean, it has, but I'm just saying, when David Bakhtiari signed his extension, he was on the team. He was not a free agent. He was on the team, right? And he got $61 million guaranteed at signing. When Ronnie Stanley signed his extension, he was on the team, and he got $64 million guaranteed at signing. And Bakhtiari got $23 million.
Sarah
guy, that's right. Hunter Bishop. And?
Tom Brady.
And he got
Harry Lamar.
And he got a $30 million bonus. So, I mean, if you're Trent Williams and you've hit free agency, now those guys are a little younger. Stanley's much younger. David Bakhtiari's younger. I don't know if he's 30 this year, but he's 29. But I would think that
though is a lot different than signing when you're on the team. It's been proven over and over, right? Unless you're a quarterback. Like if Bakhtiari had hit the market, I'd bet he'd get $25 million a year.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's not that outlandish because you're only talking $2 million more. So how does Trent Williams how does this not settle up at what Locke and Forrest said, around $23 million a year? Because unlike those guys, he is a free agent.
To me, it's less about I'm a big proponent, and I know I've had agents argue about this with me over text. Not that I'm a big like agent friend guy, but I know a couple, and whenever I've said this back in the day on Twitter, they've come to me and like, you're misinterpreting this a little bit. I think average per year is a little overrated. Non-quarterback, when you're just seeing the actual contract, when you're giving these contracts of like Aaron Jones got 4 for 48, but only 13 of it was guaranteed. It's like, what's the average per year fucking matter? But a guy like Trent Williams, when a majority of it's going to be guaranteed, I even think average per year is a little overrated too. Like, what is the guaranteed money? You said Bakhtiari got what, 62, 60?
62, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if I'm Trent, like 65, you can say my average per year is 19 or 25. What if you give me 40 guaranteed? Like, what does that mean? Right?
That's where if I were the Niners, that's where 4 for 80 makes sense.
Do you agree that the average per year can be a little overrated in the NFL when you factor in the bonuses?
It can be overrated the day you sign it. It's not overrated if you make it to the end.
But he's an older player. More than likely, he ain't going to play on a 5-year contract, right?
It's overrated. Like, it's not overrated.
For a younger player, for sure. For an older guy that's 33 years, going to be 33, like, is he really going to play till he's 37, 38 years old at left tackle, making this money? Probably not, right? Like, am I guaranteeing 3 years or 4 years? To me, that's the key.
Well, that's where 4 for 80 would make some sense to me. If it's 4 for 80, but it's really 60 guaranteed, so it's really 3 years that are guaranteed.
So I get 33, 34, 35 years old, Trent Williams.
Yeah.
And maybe I add a voidable year and I fucking amortize it until like 2026.
I mean, they're not, the Niners and everybody else are pretty good. They but that to me is where 4 for 80 would make some sense. My question is, was this still
$60 million guarantee gets it done?
I think that's pretty close. I mean, I think you could reasonably say we're not going to pay you more than Ronnie Stanley, who's 26 years old, drafted by his own team.
Yeah.
But, if 60 gets it done, so does 65.
You know the crazy thing?
Which might be what he's saying.
Like a bad omen a little bit. Bakhtiari signs the contract, tears his ACL in practice. Ronnie Stanley signs the contract, a total freak deal, has his leg shattered from behind. Both those two guys this season, last fall, like just stalwarts, boom, signed historic contracts, down. I just think
Laramie Tunsil signs with the Texans, they implode.
There is something with the tackle that they just it would be a very, very risky position. You have to have those guys. And Trent Williams, like, I don't know really what the Niners do without him. It is one of those positions that he's just naturally going to go down several times a game, 17 weeks of season. Your heart's in your chest. Right?
I know.
Like dropping.
I've seen this about.
I don't feel great about giving a guy that's 33 years old $65 million guaranteed that's not a quarterback.
I understand. No, I'm with you.
Listen, I'm not into letting him walk. And because especially the Colts and the Chiefs, I mean, those teams are planning on trying to win the Super Bowl next year. But I do understand it. Like, this is not one of those, like, you had Jalen Ramsey, you had Devontae Adams, you had some, like, 26-year-old, and you were pinching pennies here. I just understand the conversation, though the result is it's a problem. Like, you lose your left tackle, your offensive line's in shambles. It almost feels like the Niners, their backs are against the wall, and they don't like being in this position because they're just never in this position.
And they don't have a lot of options. You're right. They don't typically involve – we don't see them a lot in this spot.
Well, think about their best team. Last year, the Shanahan team was kind of smorgasbord of just different things. But the Harbaugh squad, that was all those homegrown guys, they had done a bunch of just extensions when all those guys were young, right? And they were all like, God, Patrick Willis isn't even the highest paid guy, or Navarro Bowman and Joe Staley and Frank Gore and Vernon Davis. They had a squad full of highly paid guys, but they actually weren't that highly paid. And then last year's team that went to the Super Bowl, think how many rookie contracts they had. McGlinchey, Warner, Bosa, Debo, right? Mozart's making nothing. Even Jimmy at the time's a $22 million quarterback. Sherman's making $8 million. He's an all-pro. Like, it was a pretty unique roster, right?
They usually are. The best ones usually are.
Well, I'd say the Chiefs this year paid a lot for their squad.
Yeah, but
After
that's what I'm
they-
saying. Like it's just eventually those are usually 1 year rosters.
Yeah.
The best
Once you
like
start
championship
to-
window rosters. Like if the Bucks have a championship window, it'll all be about Brady. But again, they drafted so well. You know,
You got to draft really well because then you can always pay them early. And New England did that forever, right? Seattle's those early Pete teams, they were able to extend all those guys well before they were free agents and get them. Team friendly is the wrong word, but just not like destroying your cap contracts.
yeah, not going to free agency with your own guys.
Because it's hard, like a third round pick. Hey, I'm going to give you $35 million guaranteed. And you technically, if you wait it out another year, maybe you get to 50. But how am I ever turning down that 35? Right? Kittle last year, isn't that a good example?
Kittle's a great example.
Yeah.
I'll give you a guy that I think is younger than his age is Alex Mack. Alex Mack is obviously available as a center. He'll turn 36 in November. Alex Mack has played.
Say it again.
He'll turn 36 in November.
That's an old guy.
Alex Mack has played 16 games every year except for 2014, and this last year he played 14 games. Since he came in the league at 09. Here's the thing about Alex Mack, John. I'm aware of Alex Mack. Followed him on Instagram for a while. Alex Mack is exceptionally flexible. I think he may just be a guy that doesn't get hurt. I think his body might be younger than other 36-year-old guys. Now, I would imagine a lot of offensive linemen are pretty flexible. Alex Mack can do the splits. So, like, Alex Mack just might have – some guys have older bodies. Some guys have younger bodies. I think Alex Mack has a younger body.
He does splits on Insta. He's a good follow.
I don't know if I've seen this. He cooks. He does some other random stuff. I interviewed him a few months ago on Pac-12 Radio, and so I just started doing some searching on Alex Mack, and I was like, God, this guy does the splits. Young, just kind of a young. He's got your classic. If I said guess the personality of an offensive lineman that went to Cal, you'd be like Alex Mack. I'd be like, yep, just kind of an energetic,
eccentric,
fun guy,
intellectual.
Yes. Yeah. So
passionate
anyway,
about
this is a Trent Williams conversation, but you know they're in a spot where he's one of their best players, and if they don't sign him, you could say it would have been risky to sign a guy to $60 million guaranteed, Trent Williams, and you'd be right, but they will have lost one of their best players.
Facts.
No cap.